No excuses.
Excellent. I
That's what I'm at.
love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll be talking to you soon. Yeah, and we'll get you scheduled again after everything's happening. And I thank you so much for being part of the Devolution show. I just love when you're here, and I know that the audience does too. So thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you.
much. You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was Dr. Michelle Joy Brown. Make sure that you reach out to her on Facebook because she's very fun and she's very uplifting and positive. So find her. And I mean it. Okay. So if you're looking for, she would be a good coach to have if you lacked confidence, I think, because she doesn't mince words.
No.
She gets right to the point. So it's National Women's History Month. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about what exactly that means to us here in the United States. Women are winning mayoral elections more frequently. In 2016, women secured more mayoral election wins in 18.9% of U.S. cities with more than 30,000 residents. So that's cool. Women are taking initiative within the business world. We already read that one. Women tend to live longer than men. I think that's been a known fact for a while.
It has.
But it's seen across every country worldwide. This can partly be attributed to estrogen. But it's last month we did specials. We dedicated the month to hearts. And heart disease is now the number one killer of women. And it's because of stress. So, what that tells you to take better care of yourself, to make sure that you laugh with your friends and spend time with them. And, it's funny because if you don't clean your house today, that dirt's still going to be there tomorrow. Take some time for yourself and not be so stressed out. I think from 1997 to 2016, the heart disease doubled. And so did women in the workforce.
Oh, wow.
So what's the parallel there? We're still trying to do everything ourselves. And you need to either sit down and talk to your mate, your kids. There's no reason why everybody can't pitch in to do that housework. Because you don't have to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing it. And don't be a perfectionist. It's okay. It's okay, isn't it?
It is okay, but it took me a lot of years to learn that.
But you know it now.
I know it now.
Right. Yeah, me too. I remember being on my hands and knees scrubbing my floor.
Was there any other way to do that?
No.
No?
Yeah, wow. Okay. Those days are gone.
So you youngins out there, get smart now. Listen to us.
Yes, please. Set the bar low. It's easier to get over. A transgender woman was elected to office for the first time ever. In 2017, Danica Rome became the first openly trans woman to be elected when Virginia voted her into the House of Delegates. The 32-year-old managed to beat Republican candidate Bob Marshall, who established a firm stance against the LGBTQ community. Oh, big mistake there, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
That's another group that
Strong.
Really, and their support has really come alive for each other, and they are non-judgmental, as we all should be. We could really take a good lesson from that community.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We have steadily become more involved in the military. Today, women make up 15% of active military personnel. That's impressive. While the field is still dominated by males, I added a syllable in it. Dominated. This percentage is a small boost from the reported 11% enlist in 1990. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. But, I know more girls that from, my two sons, they're in their late 20s, early 30s. And there were girls that they went to school with that enlisted, and I never knew any women that enlisted except for my cousin Louise. That was it. Females are increasingly enrolling in law school. 50.3% of current law school graduates. That's pretty amazing, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Women in Hollywood band together to combat sexual harassment. More than 300 women working in the entertainment industry, from Natalie Portman to America Ferrera, joined forces in January 2018 to launch the Time's Up initiative to help put an end to sexual misconduct. To women in every industry who are subjected to the indignities and offensive behavior that they are expected to tolerate to make a living, we stand with you, we support you. An open letter about the cause read, the movement has raised $20 million to date. And I bet that $20 million is going to fund some lawsuits.
I bet it will.
You know, when in January we did a show, #MeToo. Were you here for that?
Yeah, I was.
That was really good. And, you know, every woman sitting here
had a story. They did.
Uh-huh. And none of us did anything about it. We were not taught to stand up for ourselves.
I don't know if we really knew better.
We just accepted it.
We did accept it. That's
right.
what it was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And our mom should have told us that's not okay.
Well, they were worse than us, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They were, so...
You know, when I think back how many men touched my butt when I was young... It really kind of makes me mad now.
I was wondering where you was going with that.
Hands. I'd slap their hands. You know, I was in the fitness industry and I worked in restaurants. There was a lot exposed, you know, and there were a lot of hands.
I didn't know where you were going with that at first.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Now
it was
I know.
pretty safe.
Yeah.
I didn't get risque or anything, did I?
Darn, you didn't have any fun.
No. So, you know, but I'm hoping that the young girls coming up now have more respect for... And I don't think it was that we didn't respect ourselves. We didn't realize it was wrong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I remember slapping hands.
Oh, I can remember standing 2 tables away from this one guy because I didn't want to get near him.
Mm-hmm.
And they all thought it was funny. It's like, I'm not getting by you.
Yeah, and they thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I remember this one guy that he was a pretty prominent businessman where I used to live at one time. I'm not going to name any names. And when you would talk to him, he'd look right at your chest. And
That's
his
so
wife
wrong.
would be standing right next to him. So you know what I did one day? I got so sick of it. I bent down really fast and met his eyes where my boobs were. And I said, I'm up here. And he never did it to me again.
Yeah.
But he did it
caught
to
him.
other women.
Yeah. People should have called him out, but back then we didn't.
Right.
We didn't.
Right. Shame. So shame on you men. Don't do that anymore. We don't do that.
Much.
You know, it's so different. It's our whole way that we're brought up and the whole way that we're taught about each other, like men about women and women about men, is so absolutely different. And women about women and men about men. It's so absolutely different that we have to come together and realize that mutual respect. And there's not a line defining the difference there. This is how it is. So I think the kids that are being raised now, the little girls that are being raised now, their parents are
well, and
bringing
I
them
raised
up
daughters too, and I raised them to be dependent upon themselves. So that's what they were brought up with. So you depend on yourself. If you have a husband, that's a bonus. Didn't teach them to be men bashers, but to stand their own and be able to support themselves, and then they wouldn't get in that situation, hopefully. So I think we're raising our daughters better, and I know my daughter is raising her daughter better, so it just makes sense. It's going to go on. It's going to get better all the time.
Right, I think so, too. And I know my stepdaughter is raising her girls to be very independent. Mm-hmm. And now my littlest one, my youngest son's daughter, that mom is going to raise her just
Little
fine.
Avery?
Yes, she's going to be... She's going to be little sassy girl.
That's
There's
okay.
nobody that's going to mess with that girl.
That's
I'll tell you
all
that
right.
right now. So it's really cool to watch that. That's how we're evolving as a sexual species.
Mm-hmm.
We are changing. But, you know, we were just talking last night about how, maybe it wasn't last night, but recently, about how these younger men are pitching in and doing more things around the house, too.
Absolutely.
There's no
Absolutely.
defined male chore, female chore in this younger
I
generation.
see my nephews, and they're in their mid-30s to early 40s, and they do everything.
Cook, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Clean, whatever needs to be done.
I love that.
I do, too.
And that's how it should be.
Yes.
Right. And yeah, so I think marriages will last longer, relationships will last longer because I think that
It's
half
teamwork.
the divorces that happen are because men are always working and women are home doing all that stuff and they need a break and they build up resentment because here's the man out doing all these things and she's at home. Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's going to be really good it's going to be interesting to see if that, statistic changes.
Well, and it takes two incomes nowadays to eat.
It absolutely does.
To do household
All right.
money. So you got to teach your kids to be stronger, and they will learn more things at a younger age.
Mm-hmm. I really admire my stepson very much. Well, and my son-in-law as well, my step-son-in-law. They do a lot of things with their children. A lot of things. And they give the moms a break.
Yes.
And I think that is so wonderful. But, you know, even better, it's even better for the kids that they're doing that.
It is.
It's good for the dads, but it's even better
It's
for
better
the kids.
because they're showing them a role model that's good too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I love that. So keep it up. Keep it up, new dads. Keep it up, young dads. Keep doing what you're doing. And especially for girls, if you have daughters and they see you doing that kind of stuff, that's the kind of husband they're going to want.
they're going to attract.
Yeah, I used to tell my dad he ruined me for everybody else because my mom owned a business and daddy worked and he would help my mom with the business on weekends. And if she wasn't there, he would cook for us and stuff. And so when my husbands didn't do that, I thought, what the heck's wrong with them?
Yes.
There's
My
something wrong
husbands.
with, yes. Not all at one time, of course.
Of course.
I disperse them about every 7 years.
Uh-oh.
Some have lasted longer. Steve, our anniversary is coming up, and Steve was
Are
making
you in
fun.
7-year itch?
It's our wedding anniversary of 7. Wait, let me think. Yes, it's our 7-year wedding anniversary next week, actually.
So that's the 7-year itch.
Uh-huh. And I'm not very itchy. And
All right.
and he's not either.
Oh, good.
And he was teasing me about 7-year itch. And it's no. But we've known each other for longer than that, but that's how long we were married. So we have some things coming up here. This Wednesday is Diva's Night Out. Let's talk about the Devolution Project a little bit. What did we just have?
Well, the first quarter, we collected blankets and socks for the homeless. And because we figured we see people on the street, they need coats and socks that'll keep them warm. So that was a good fundraiser. And we put boxes at different locations and collected. We collected here. And hopefully to make a few more people happy. And then our next quarter, we do this every year, is we do Easter dinner at the rescue mission. And we collect the food and do the boxes for, to get our hometown involved in the food drive and all of that. So we go there, we cook it and see how it is and enjoy the company of the people at the rescue mission.
Right. I love that we do that. This is our 4th year.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
And that officially launches tomorrow at the Devolution Club's meeting.
And you know what else was fun? When we do a family at Christmas.
Yes.
That is so rewarding.
It is.
So rewarding to
and
do
the
the whole family.
participation in that was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we got quite a few blankets. I still have
Yeah.
more here to
Yeah,
disperse. Yeah, it looks like winter's not over yet.
No, it's not.
Darn it. So the Devolution Project, we do something every quarter, and the Easter one is our spring